Let's talk about Laundry House and how you try to differentiate and essentially build that Laundry House brand. What went into that, and what's your thinking on that whole aspect of it?
Sure. So it's a conversation about branding. And
Hmm.
branding comes down to two key things in my mind. How do you position yourself in the marketplace? And why will customers choose your laundromat over the competitor? So I think you have to start with research. You have to research your competition, you have to
Hmm.
research your customers, and you have to try to see what is the gap that you can provide and that your customers will really desire and value. So for us, we focused on a premium laundromat experience.
Hmm.
And I think when we think about branding, most operators, they think about a logo and a company name, right? And the conversation on branding kind of ends there. But branding is
Right.
like so much more than just a
Yeah.
logo and a company name. I
Right.
think it starts with positioning and strategy, which is what I kind of just spoke about. How do you position yourself in that marketplace?
Hmm.
And then we kind of get into the customer experience, and that's where I spent a lot of my time focusing. And that's the experience is the first piece of marketing material that they might see, or maybe that's your store that they see
Hmm.
first from the outside, all the way
Hmm.
through their first experience walking in, interacting with your employees, everything they really experience, everything they see, and when we get back to like how they experience your store, if we take a step back and we think about how we experience things, it's through
Right.
our five senses. That's how we all experience the world around us. So it seems like a natural starting point to think about how can we engage those senses to create a laundromat experience that's different than the rest. So I spent a lot of time focusing on how do we engage these senses. So I think when it comes to site, it comes down to really high-end materials and high-end design, making sure that
Hmm.
everything you see just looks premium, it looks clean, and it looks
Hmm.
different than the competition. On smell, it's pretty funny. We actually created a custom laundry house scent, and
Really?
we did, and we diffuse this through our HVAC system. So when customers come into the store, whether they consciously realize or they subconsciously realize, they're smelling that clean, fresh, calming smell. And the calming,
Yeah.
I think, is important, right? Because we're in Brooklyn, it can be chaotic outside. So we want when people walk in for them to be
Yeah.
like, like it feels like a
Yeah.
different place.
Yeah. I love that.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So smell, touch again comes back to these materials using high-end finishes, and we put an emphasis then on being solid and kind of introducing some texture. So every single thing from the first experience, which is the door that a customer opens, right? Having
Hmm.
a really nice high quality metal and glass door with these long, solid stainless steel pulls. Their first experience touching your store is like solid and premium all the way
Hmm.
into the store. Our folding tables, we opted for a high quality Wilson Art laminate that it gives that wood look, that wood feel, but all of the functionality of
Hmm.
a solid surface that you can wipe down easy, that it will last forever.
Right.
So we spent some time on touch. And then sound, I think, is equally as important because people really experience a lot of the world through sound. And I think it can really transform an experience.
Right.
Laundry is not typically associated with having a good time, right? Going and doing your laundry. So we wanted to provide like a really upbeat, poppy, new type of music selection. We have a service that does that, and it's always updating. And we're
Hmm.
constantly getting requests for our playlist, which unfortunately we can't give out because we use this service. We even see people dancing along while they're folding their laundry. So it kind of makes them lose track of where they are,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I spent a lot of time on engaging those senses. And then
Hmm.
I think the sixth sense is this emotional sense. And I think we can drive that through customer service. And it's a place that I think a lot of operators miss the mark. And I actually believe it's a lot easier than we
Hmm.
believe.
Hmm.
It's as easy as, that first impression when somebody walks in the door, saying, noticing them and making them aware you notice them. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Laundry House. It makes them feel seen,
Right.
respected, and it opens the dialogue now between your attendant and the customers.
Mhm, mhm.
Another thing we do is we give all new customers a store tour. So, you
Okay.
hear operators speak a lot about, oh, this payment system, my customers won't know how to use this touchscreen washer, they won't know how to use. So we take
Yeah.
this opportunity to walk them through the payment system, how they load their card, the washing machine, where they put the soap, the softener, the bleach, how you work the dryers. And while we're doing this, we're educating them on
Mhm,
all of the features and benefits of our equipment and of the laundry house experience,
mhm.
which I think is so important because we spent so much money creating the best, right? The best washers, the best dryers, the ozone
Right,
sanitization. But if customers don't know that, it
right.
doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
So we take that as an opportunity to educate them. And
Mhm,
I think the last important thing on customer service is handling complaints, because
mhm.
it doesn't matter how nice of a store you've built or how good of a team you've built.
Mhm.
Inevitably, you're going to get the complaints. And it's how you handle those complaints that really matters.
Right.
So we have a policy, and I make this very clear with all of our employees, that customer service is their number one priority. And
Mhm,
when customers do have a complaint, they
mhm,
can spend up to $20 in laundry credits,
mhm.
turning them from a frustrated customer into a really happy customer. So,
Right.
we'll accomplish that with free washes, free dries, and actually up to $20 and just adding money to their card.
Mhm,
Um, and I think some operators might look at that and say, "Oh, wow, that's, a waste of money. It's going to cut into my bottom line."
mhm.
But what I would say to them, and what I tell all of our employees so they understand, is
Yeah.
that the lifetime value on our customers is so extremely high. These customers will spend thousands of dollars with us.
Mhm,
And at the same time, our gross profit margins are also very high. So
mhm.
that $20 in laundry credits costs us $3. And I
Yeah.
make them aware they're actually losing money by not offering that up, because if we can spend $3 to retain a customer that will spend thousands, and
Mhm.
maybe rave to their friends and family and bring in others that will spend thousands, I think it's
Mhm.
a really great investment. So
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
think, in terms of branding,
Mhm.
those are the main things. In terms of how we set ourselves apart, I think those are the main things,
Right.
top of mind
Right.
that come to me.